your big Hollywood sunglasses and light the torch, because it's cellar time. Welcome to the Crack Cellar, as the prophecy was once shattered into a multiverse. I'm Two-Spirit Penguin Daniel.
And I'm not your comrade, Broadcaster Nickels.
And today we're talking about Terry Crews as Jax, Broadcaster Nickels. What do you think?
What?
President Camacho, from Idiocracy. He's also Lieutenant something on Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Large, muscular, bald black man that looks just like Jax. What do you think?
That's the Big Teeth Guys comedy show, right? Mr. Sandberg.
Yes, exactly.
I've never watched an episode.
Yeah, it's mediocre. It was actually made by the same guy that made The Office, and I feel like they just unloaded a Brinks truck at his door, and they're like, we don't care what the show is, we just want you to bring something to our channel. Because it's just like a super phoned-in version of The Office, but in a police precinct instead of a paper mill.
Interesting.
Not really. It had like one good season, and the rest were either mediocre or garbage. But either way, Terry Crews as Jax. Answer the question, goddammit.
I mean, I think we could have got Michael J. White.
We already got Michael J. What do you mean? Him in 7 and 9, dude. Remember? Fuck Protocol?
That's what I'm saying. Why can't we get Michael J. White?
Okay. So
why
you're saying
want... Terry Crews is, he's cool, but I mean, he'd be like, it's like Marvel Prime Universe 616, versus like Ultimate Universe, whatever the fuck that number is, I forget. But Terry Crews is like Ultimate Universe Jax,
Yeah, for sure. Roided up.
Yeah. We want our boy Michael J. White, all right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Plus, Michael J., I'm pretty sure he needs a job.
Yeah, whatever happened to him, man?
I don't know what's going on with that guy. Phenomenal. He's probably way more richer than us, but,
Well, of course. I mean, even a failed Hollywood actor is richer than us. Our successful podcast is keeping us afloat, right, Broadcaster? We've made at least $2.50.
I've been in discussion with Sheath Underwear to get a sponsorship. I'm working on it.
Good. I'm in talks with Birch Gold as well. So,
Acre Gold. The one I really want? I think the only fucking sponsorship we could really take advantage of on a real level is that Bowl I don't even know what the fucking name is. Bowl and Branch. It's the sheets that fucking the Ben Shapiro pedals. I've been told they're some of the best.
Oh, I'm sure the thread count is through the roof. Speaking of grifts, Broadcaster Nickels, as you know, the video game industry is full of them right now.
I think it's majority grift right now.
If you need an example, look no further than former American super developer Blizzard Entertainment that literally used to carry PC gaming on its back, like up a mountain in snow. Now they're dying at the bottom of a beach and crabs are trying to feed off of its dead skin. It's not good. All the talent's gone. Every game that they release is just a re-release of one of their old games from when they were good. And they're not even doing that right. Warcraft 3's remaster was panned critically and by the fans as being a buggy mess. Diablo 2, as you know, is on the way. And this time, it's
on the way. Diablo 2 is on the way.
It's on the way, yes. The game
I want to say that again. Diablo 2 it's on the way. It's still on the 2021. Diablo 2 is on the way, guys.
Yes. Yes, the game that came out 21 years ago is on the way again, and this time it's going to have nothing new. It is a total cop-out remaster. The graphics are the exact same. Literally all they're doing in this game is they're making it work on the Battle.net launcher in 2021, and they're reselling it to people. That's it. It is the exact same game with the exact same graphics. They're not improving or doing anything to it, essentially.
So they actually released the price points?
No, but it'll be $40. I guarantee it. They're gonna charge $40 fucking dollars. I guarantee it.
I could see them charging $40 for that game and pre-ordering LOD for its inevitable release, which I think it. I'm not even gonna go in to the fucking ludicrous nature of what the gaming industry has to be in the state it has to be in for them to barely get a fucking game that was made in 2001 or 2?
I believe Diablo 2 came out in the year 2001.
Okay, so
but
2001.
It's right there. It's somewhere right there for sure.
So supposedly one of the most profitable, biggest developers in the gaming industry is struggling to get a port of a game that was made in 2001.
Yeah.
And it's not even going to be complete. It's going to literally be vanilla.
Mm-hmm.
Like what are these guys?
All they're focusing on right now is making sure that the game is as good as the original release 20 years ago. Right now, beta testers are there have been beta testing going on in this game, closed beta testing, alpha testing, and the number one feedback is all negative about animation quality, about all sorts of just like core game mechanics that don't work and are wonky compared to the original version. Think about that for a second. All of the feedback and all of their effort is going into just making sure that this game is as good as the game that was released 20 years ago. Not better, as good.
Yeah. There's just no coding talent or something in the gaming industry anymore. I don't know. How is that even possible?
I think that we're in a dark age for Western game development right now, and I don't know if we're at the beginning of it, the middle of it, or the end of it, but my guess is the beginning. And you just think about the last game that Blizzard released. The last normal, new game that they released. Not like a re-release, not an expansion pack, but an actual new game. It was Overwatch. Guess what, boys and girls? Overwatch is actually a failure of their original MMO launch of Project Titan. So Overwatch is literally based on a failure, the original failure of Blizzard that cascaded into what we have now, which is just unending failures.
Yeah, I think Titan was probably the original sin that put the hole in the ship.
I go back and forth.
Way too much money into that.
I go back and forth between StarCraft Ghost and Project Titan. One of those two is definitely Blizzard's original sin, but either way, the company has spiraled, and what you see now is just a fucking joke. It's a joke. And Warcraft 3, by the way, the remaster of Warcraft 3, they never released the Frozen Throne expansion. They're not even talking about it, dude, because everyone hated the remaster.
See, that's what I'm talking about. Like, how can you justify these prices where you could literally just go buy the old copy of the game and get more content for cheaper?
Bro, I'm staring at my Diablo 2 right now. Yeah. I literally still have it. There is absolutely no reason I would ever buy this bullshit cash grab.
Well, you can still buy Diablo 2 from Blizzard, can't you?
I don't
think
the
original?
So.
It's just not on Battle.net.
So. No, I don't think that they sell it anymore. You can only get it aftermarket. They don't print new versions of it.
All right, just pirate it then. Fuck them.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's always the base answer when it comes to shit like this, but man, speaking of grifts, though, I hear you have a little problem with a game called Escape from Tarkov or Escape of Tarkov or Sucking Tarkov's Cock. What is that game called again?
Dude, if Tarkov was a fucking Magic the Gathering card, it would be like Unending Grift. Tarkov, especially in the flavor text, would talk about some asshole grifter named Tarkov or something. I swear to God. But, no, that's not even the worst one. I really want to talk about Ari first because that shit's like vaporware. But I can Escape from Tarkov. It's more of like the personalities that you'll catch defending Tarkov's like actions. Like to this day, it's like what 3 years old and it's still a beta.
Is that game 3 years old? It looks like it came out 10 years ago when I look at screenshots of it.
Well, yeah, that's a whole other thing. You know, there's a lot of promise with Tarkov, and they've been selling these Kickstarter packages essentially for early access for 3 fucking years. One of them's like $120 or something. I have to look it up. I'm pretty sure it's like around there. And they're like, the main attitude is like, well, you don't have to buy it. You can just get the base version for $40 or whatever. And it's like, okay, but two points there. One, the base version, which is supposed to be access to a beta that's been out for 3 fucking years, is still $40 when a lot of games in its category are free to fucking play. 2, you're brushing off the idea that that thing you don't have to buy, the LOD package or the EOD package, which they totally ripped off a really good Mel Gibson movie called Edge of Darkness. That's what the $120 package is called. But no, great movie, terrible package. That was a great movie. Off. But nonetheless, I get back to what I'm saying. There's 2 things that are really game changing with the increased purchase of the tier packages to get access to this game, which I think there's like 3 or 4. The last one being the Edge of Darkness one, is your inventory, where you ultimately store loot at the end of each of your raids, which is going into the map and fighting the actual in-game players and the NPCs and the human or the computers. All that crap you get from it in game, you put in your inventory after the fact. And when you buy the bigger packages, you get a bigger inventory. So therefore, you can have more stuff. You can sell more stuff. This place has like an actual pretty cool in-game auction house where you can sell a lot of stuff and make a lot of profit. So it gives you an edge immediately. Mm-hmm. But then the most important thing is I call it the keister box. It's like this little Pelican security box that you get. And again, it gets bigger based on which version of the game you buy. And it allows you to store more stuff. And everything that's in this case, you don't lose if you die in a raid, which is pretty important because some things you can find are super valuable and people will loot it off your body for sure. But if you have it in that case, they can't. So, the 2 most try-hard people I've ever met in this game both have the same attitude. They're just like, it's like, it's just for dedicated people, it's not, there's not a difference between me or you, it's not like I have a better version of the game. And it's just like, yeah, you do. You do. You definitely do. And I'm not willing to spend that much money to get that version of the game. So, I mean, all the power to you. But the fact that you're arguing this now is just, I mean,
it's really dumb.
Maybe that's the reason why the gaming industry is in the shape it's in, because at the end of the day, people will put on airs and they'll say, I'm not that type of person, like I pick myself up from the bootstraps. I won't pay to win. I won't do that shit. I don't call for that shit. But then they play a game like Tarkov and then argue with people about how spending $120 on a beta that's been out for 3 fucking years and gives you a slight, I'm not going to say the greatest advantage in the game, but still a better upper hand. And, it's just like, you're kind of full of shit, But that's just the type of people that play Tarkov. Tarkov itself, all the power to him. Made a game, They want to keep it in beta forever, like fucking Warframe, which is free to play, by the way. But that's the only other example I could use as like a game that's just been in perpetual beta forever.
Yeah. Well, I don't play Escape from Tarkov, but I can tell you unequivocally that is pay to win. And that guy who's trying to defend that, if that was like an accurate depiction of his defense, what a chud. Like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? I played a game called Asheron's Call on a server called Darktide that was full PvP, old school PvP. When you die, you get looted, same as Escape from Tarkov. And there were certain weapons and armor that were binded to you. They did not drop on death. And those were literally the most valuable items in existence on Darktide. Atlan swords, shadow armor. This shit was literally the lifeblood of that game. And if you're trying to tell me that if they, in Asheron's Call, they said, okay, we're going to sell an Edge of Darkness pack for $120. It gives you a free Atlan sword at level 10 and a free shadow armor at level 20. Are you fucking kidding me? That is like the most pay to win I've ever heard of in my life.
Yeah, it's man, there's so many examples you could give to so many different types of gamers out there, you know, but it's like I think that's the reason why it doesn't work in the Japanese market so much is because it's like imagine you were playing Chrono Trigger, right? I think we are. Maybe I don't know if we talked about this on the podcast before, but I think me and you've had this discussion before. But imagine
for $29.99, get the rainbow sword and the rainbow armor. You don't have to choose.
Or like imagine them trickling out all those like little tiny different endings. You know, they're like ending pack 1, 2, and 3, where you get 4 different endings each. Because wasn't there like 12 endings or something, or more, 13 or something like that?
Yeah, I think it was more than that. I think it might have been 14. It was in the teens for sure.
But anyways, it's just like I could totally see him doing that type of shit. You know, it's like you got to think about it from those type of perspectives. That's how I see the gaming industry, at least now. Is like when I see moves like this, I compare them to like how games not only were, you know, like day one content wise when I grew up, but I imagine how they would be treated if they came out now. You know,
not good.
And it's never good.
It's a self-defeating strategy too for an online competitive game, because what happens when you have pay to win mechanics is that everyone who's unwilling to pay quits. So you have a self-selecting community of players that are all pay to win. Then all of a sudden, the game just becomes the pay to win version of the game. And there is no free option because all the free people are gone because they're getting screwed on the competitive scene. That's what it always boils
down to.
Yes.
If it's pay to win, that's what the meta will become. That's what the meta is forced to become.
Yeah. So it ends up just being a bunch of whales running credit cards up and getting in debt to play a fucking vaporware game that won't exist in 6 years. It's just, what? Yeah. What are you people doing, man? Like,
you know that game
it's a grift. It's the grift.
It is the grift, dude. I'm telling you, it's all a grift. But the phone game you play, the Star Wars phone game, Galaxy of Heroes, I played one just like it or whatever, but it was Marvel's Contest of Champions, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's all the same shit, you know? You got little crystal bundles, little currencies, like things you can open for random casino rolls on characters that have different tier levels and all that fun stuff, you know? But that shit is a fucking, like, I feel like that's the ultimate peer pressure of pay to win, where I think where the meta really became this dark evil entity. Because if you've been in clans in those games, you played enough. You're probably in like a clan or something, right?
Oh, dude,
there's
my Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes account is worth like $1,000, dude.
Sure, dude, easily. I mean, there's probably people that dwarf you, right? You're probably a little star in the pool.
No, for sure. See, the thing is I started playing that game when it was new, so I didn't have to spend money because I started so early. So I'm basically up with the whales and the krakens as a free-to-play player just by virtue of when I started playing.
But you're up there. So if you're in a clan, when they're doing those little daily events, and there's weekly events, and then there's sometimes like a special event you do, and it gets you it's like pretty much end game for clans and yourself. When you get into that phase of a phone game, I've never seen so much peer pressure in my life to spend money. Like, I remember it was back when I was working in Bellevue, and I was working with this guy. He got into the game, and me and him, it was just super casual, right? He got me into
Marvel
comics.
Strike Force?
Contest of Champions, which is a little bit different type of game, but they still have the base monetization mechanics.
Marvel Strike Force is literally a Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes clone.
Yeah, it's that template for sure.
It's a clone. It's not just the template. It's a fucking clone. I played it for a week or two just to check it out, and I was like, this is shameless. Like, these people are shameless.
Nah, dude, these people, they ask you to get like a third party like chatting app, so they can all have like clan groups, and then they put you in subgroups that you do the daily events in. It's like legitimate stuff, and then they're just like, pretty much the answer to sucking is just like, just spend $20, dude. Just take a chance, try to get the character, dude. It's like, or spend $80, finally get it,
Yeah, well,
there's like a 1 in 1,000 chance or 10,000 chance or whatever of getting what you want.
See, that's a lot of those games are like that. Galaxy of Heroes, I'll give them credit that the way they monetize is that you spend money to get things faster, but you get things no matter what. Like, it's not like a game where you're just roll a dice. Oh, you get a character. It's a game where you do a mission and you get like one shard of that character. And if you want, you can spend a couple extra bucks to get 5 extra shards of that character a day or a week or whatever to make it a little faster. But no matter what, you're still going to get the character no matter what if you're farming it. It's not where you're just depending on a casino slot machine.
Right.
But I know what you're talking
about. There's more honorable approaches to living in a scummy society. I get it. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, you're still in Dark scummy. City, baby. All right.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like
there's some Cenobites on a roof staring at me right now. Trust me, I know.
Sure.
And EA is a dirty company, but I will give them credit that they are not totally as scummy as some of the other games. Where there's this one game I played called Epic 7, which is like an anime JRPG version of these types of games. It's from Korea, and you can't farm characters in that game. So basically what happens is you just have to spend a currency that gives you a random chance to unlock one of 1,000 characters, maybe. So you could literally be trying to unlock one character for 5 years and not get him. Whereas in Galaxy of Heroes, you're going to get that character in 6 months, period. Or you can get it a little faster, maybe 3 months if you want to spend money, or a month if you really want to whale out. But yeah, it varies. But I will tell you that the peer pressure part is very accurate, but not as in my game, not as much as the way you're saying with spending money, but in effort level, dude.
That too, for sure.
Amazed at how serious these people take these phone games. Like, you touched on Discord. Oh, you have to get a Discord if you want to play the game I play. You have to put yourself on a third-party website so guilds can look at your rosters and evaluate you before you join a guild, okay? Once you join a guild, they say, hey, and this is for a good guild. Obviously, you can get into shit guilds and not try and play once a month and you're good. But if you want to be in a good guild, they want full participation. Every event, every guild event, full participation, or you're booted. And there's
booted from a phone game. It's they'll go so comical,
dude. They'll go so far as to tell you, not only do we want full participation, but we want you to change all the mods on all your characters for every specific event, and then change it for every other event every time for maximum efficiency. Like, they want you to put like 10 hours a day into these games in the high-end guilds, man. I'm only in like a mid-core guild where they want, 2 hours a day, and I can live with that. But now, I've seen the top of the mountain, and it is fucking dark and full of terrors.
Let's put some context into this too, age-wise, right? I'm 31. You're 35 or 36 now, right?
About to be 37.
Yeah, you're about to be 37. Though when you're talking about these people in these chats and these discords, right? I was playing, like, you're still playing it currently. It's been like years since I've actually been deep into Marvel's Contest Champions, but I was around 25, 26 when I was doing it. And I was thinking all these people that are like hounding me, right? We're going to be kids that have all the time in the world, which I understand, right? You got some older people that got lives and shit, like bringing down your clan, like get them fucking out of here. I understand the attitude. But these people are like fully grown men.
Oh, they're old. They're all older than us.
Yeah, like 60 or 50, 60-year-olds. Like, I guess they're approaching the other end of the spectrum where you have a bunch of free time. You're now getting into retirement or whatever. But it's like the demand they have for people that are like 30 years younger than them. It's like, bro, I know you wouldn't have had the time for this shit when you were 30. Don't get like, unless you're just an absolute fucking loser.
A lot of those out there, Broadcaster Nickels.
But still, those aren't the ones like giving you the third degree, though. Those are the ones you would expect to be giving you the third degree.
Yeah. Well, like you said, the peer pressure part, that is legit. I can't even believe some of the DMs I've gotten on Discord, various guilds I've been in Star Wars over the years, just like the hubris and just like the audacity of some of the things these people have said to me. I'm just like, you have got to be fucking kidding me with this bullshit. And I'll tell you right now, in my current Star Wars guild, I am the youngest person in the guild. 50-person guild, 50 people. I am the youngest at 37. That tells you a lot.
Wow.
Yeah. The Grift is on, Broadcaster Nickels.
Oh, yeah. We still have to go stage 3 Grift, which is vaporware.
The verse.
The one you pay for technically, but never comes. Now, kids, let me break this down for you. See, when a game is coming out and they want to make it sound like they're giving a lot, they'll attach a free product to it, like Warzone or RE-verse. And they say, day one launch, baby. That's what they say. They tell you, don't worry, we got you. But then it's nowhere to be seen. But then they say, in the Steam product tab window with a little blue box, coming soon. No date. Just coming soon.
Yeah.
Well,
just like
coming soon came to us 2 days ago, children. It's Q2 of 2022 is what coming soon means. Which means they fucking... I mean, everyone knows how small RE7 was, or RE8 was. Like, the fact that RE-verse was supposed to ship with it was a kind of a significant chunk of the content you were going to get.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's just gone.
They're hoping you forget about it.
I'm pretty sure that's their angle.
What we gave you RE8 already. What are you talking about? We're on RE9 now, man. What are you talking about, dude?
Do you remember when I was telling you it just said soon? I don't know if it was like that for you, but it used to just say soon instead of coming soon. I was like, okay.
Little bit of lip. Soon, child. Calm down.
Yeah, but I mean, what can you say? Like, that is the ultimate grift, right? We're giving you the game you want. It's going to have this dope mode. It's not going to be like the other shitty modes. It's going to be like the best version of those modes all come together. Everyone's like, sweet. And then it just like doesn't come out.
Nope.
And people still paid full price for the fucking game. I mean, at this point, Q2 2022, that's going to be like, is that April?
Capcom's like in the process of starting a Kickstarter for it right now.
I mean, how many other games, especially free to play, like Battle Royale-esque type games, will be announced by then? You think Ari? I mean, yeah. Just imagine this. People are going to be like digging in to Halo Infinite and Battlefield 2042. Like, everyone's going to be a little seasoned at this point. They're going to keep on going. They're going to be, grinding their battle passes. And RE-verse is just going to come onto the scene. Like, hey, guys, we made it. Come check us out.
Buy the Edge of Wong pass to get Ada's dildo. Shipped to you.
I mean, I might be wrong. Who knows? It might be like super cool, but I'm pretty sure it's just going to be a glorified fucking mercenaries mode.
That's what it seems
Online
like.
mercenaries mode. And it's like, that is not something you can really flesh out into anything people will be overly excited for.
Well,
You know?
that's the problem that ends up happening now, is that if it is what we think it is, just a glorified mercenaries mode, eventually the delay will get to the point where the upper bosses will look at it and say, hey, if we release this now, and this is just some, mediocre, forgettable side mode that, is meh, it's going to hurt us more than it's going to help us. And there's going to be a decision made to just vaporize it. Duke Nukem forever, that bitch. And I feel like that's where we're going. Now, the caveat there is, if it's more than what we think, if it is like an actual battle royale and it's much more deep and complex than we think it is, maybe then it does still make sense to release it years from now. But
if it was any other Japanese developer, I would agree with you. But it's Capcom.
It's Capcom. I know.
These guys just unparalleled ability to just squander great IPs.
Rest in peace, Mega Man X.
God.
All right, Broadcaster Nickels. Are you ready to get to our preview of the unprecedented Chucky TV series, Child's Play Part USA/Sci-Fi Collabo?
I am. I'm glad I'm going to be given an opportunity to highlight the struggles of gingers and the persecution and insults and ridicule they have suffered throughout time.
Yes. This is a personal and topical moment for Broadcaster Nickels. Everyone, put your hand on your Bible and get ready.
What's that? You want more Crack Cellar? This is good. Join your lords on Twitter at The Crack Cellar and Facebook.com/The Crack Cellar.
Hey, you over there. Are you a straight-up Chad or a strong woman? Well, you can find us on Apple Podcasts and your favorite podcasting app. Or, if you're a straight-up beta cuck, find us on YouTube with the rest of the Cloud Chasers. And we're back with our preview of Chucky, the television series, Broadcaster Nickels, a show made by both Sci-Fi Channel, and that's SYFY, and USA Network, people that brought us such shows as The Dead Zone and
What do you
Monday
think?
Night Raw.
You think Sci-Fi was more based when it was
Oh, it
spelled
was
the correct way?
Oh, dude, as soon as it went SYFY, man, it jumped off the cliff.
Let's start a petition right now. I think as influencers, we have the power to make a movement, to get base sci-fi back.
You hear that? The faithful 22 and a half. We need your help. So is Chucky the original ginger kid, Broadcaster Nickels? Who is the original ginger kid? Is it So I think it's either.
I think it's Malachi himself, dude.
Oh shit!
Come on now.
Okay.
Where's your horror knowledge?
But wait a second. I don't know about that. I think Child's Play 1 came out before Children of the Corn. I think it did. If not, almost the same time. So
Child's Play 1 was in 88. One was Children of the Corn.
Oh, you know what? I think Children of the Corn was like 86 or something. Yeah, okay. So okay, you might be good there, Malcoy. I was also going to say Punky Brewster.
84, bro.
Oh, my birth year. Shit. No wonder I have such great taste in horror movies. I was brought in with the original Children of the fucking Corn. All right. Okay. Well, I was gonna say Punky Brewster too, but we'll go with Malachi.
Damn, dude. You're the bigger horror, but I fucking just like guessed that. I was just like fucking Malachi himself, dude.
It's weird. I thought Child's Play 1 came out in the mid 80s, and I thought Children of the Corn was more late 80s, but I totally had it reverse. That's really weird. But what do you think, man? Chucky is back with the original voice actor, Brad Dourif.
I noticed that. That was actually the only cool part of the whole thing I liked. Because I was never a big Chucky fan, but the fact that I could recognize the doll's voice immediately, I was like, that's kind of nostalgic.
Yeah,
that's cool that they
when
got
he
the guy
screams,
back.
I always come back. That,
Yeah.
When he did that scream, I got goosebumps because
He hasn't
I
lost
knew
it.
immediately that was him. Like, I just knew it. I could feel it in my soul that was the original Chucky.
But the question is the bride of Chucky back too?
She is, and it's the same voice actor, Jennifer Tilly. So we definitely have a Bride of Chucky angle here. We have a Child's Play 1 angle, definitely Child's Play 2 angle. I don't know what they're really going for with the.
Let's talk
the
about how
storyline.
casual. Like this isn't the fucking 80s anymore, right? Like that trailer where they sold that fucking creepy ass doll on the side of the street in that neighborhood. For one, those people should be fined. Two, when they were walking, the kids walking away with the doll, they're like, oh, someone took the butcher knife. Huh. It's like, what?
I loved that. That was great. Oh, the butcher knife's gone.
It's fucking middle-aged fucking lunatic. The suburbs water's gone to that fucking woman's head.
Yeah, not too much information out about it right now. Just like a teaser trailer, not like a really full trailer. So we don't know a whole lot. A lot of this is just going to be guesswork. But I have seen the first 4 Chucky movies, and I think part of the 5th one. But I think that's where I turned it off and I just quit the franchise because I think the 5th Chucky movie was atrocious, if I recall. But either way, I've seen the first 4, 1, 2, and 3 plus Bride of Chucky. And I am really wondering if this is going to follow Andy, who was from 1 and 2, and probably more, and Tyler from 3. Or do you think it's a new storyline? So, like, do we think that this is a continuation of the original trilogy universe? Or is it kind of a new universe, but with some inspirations from the original trilogy? What do you think about that?
I think it's going to be a continuation just based on getting the same voice actors and keeping the same aesthetic and all that. Like, that takes a lot of conscious thought and, like, acting, you know? Like, I mean, why do all that unless you're trying to establish some type of continuation, you know?
I agree with you there. If it had new voice actors, I would definitely lean more towards total reboot. It is a good sign that I love Brad Dourif too. Do you know him at all from like his actual theatrical career beyond voice acting? Have you seen him? He was in Star Trek Voyager as crewman Lon Suter, who was like this sociopathic psychopath guy who was psychic, who was on the Voyager, and he just started murdering people. Like, it was one of the rare episodes of Star Trek that was just like a total horror movie episode. And then they put him in jail on Voyager, and he ends up sort of becoming like Hannibal Lecter. Like, he's in jail, but they'll come to him for like wisdom about like crazy people as the series goes on. He was really good in that. And then also, he was in Alien Resurrection, if you recall. Remember Gettyman from Alien Resurrection? He was a major character in that movie. He was like the third billing after Sigourney Weaver and what's her name, the other chick.
Oh shit!
Yeah, he was an android, dude. He was like the bishop of Alien Resurrection. He was fucking amazing in it.
Yeah, I do remember. Wasn't this guy the blood doctor in the original Underworld too?
Oh God, he might have been.
Wasn't he the one mixing the blood? He was the one that said Corvinus so cool.
Oh.
He was like the Corvinuses.
Oh my God, I think you might be right about that. I haven't seen Underworld Grip, but you might be right about that. Either way, he is a fucking really good actor, and I'm glad that they were able to get him back for this because honestly, my excitement level for this is totally based on him playing Chucky still at this point.
Crazy, that guy's the voice of Chucky, Loki. The real crazy part about Chucky is, and not a lot of people actually know this. Not I'm willing to put it out there today that people are probably familiar with the other great IP, Problem Child.
Oh,
a lot of people don't know that Problem Child actually is the prequels to Chucky. That kid actually gets turned into Chucky by a witch.
Hold on, dude. I gotta call the guy who did the Metal Gear Zero video and get him on the line right now.
I actually used to think that as a kid, though. I remember watching...
It makes sense when you think.
Yeah, I remember because they were always airing on TV the same time, like when I was a kid, and I was just like, "Is this like Chucky before he's the doll?" Is it because he's such a little fucking prick? Is that why they turned him into a doll?
Yeah, I love that. And it's funny, too, because, I was watching those movies at the same time. Like, I love the Problem Child movies, and I love the Child's Play movies, and it does kind of, now, in retrospect, it feels like they're connected universes a little bit.
Who is the dad in Problem Child?
Oh, I forget his name, but he's a great actor. I loved him in a bunch of 80s shit from back in the day and some 90s shit. I forget his name, but he was fucking awesome. I want to say it's like John something. I don't know though. I love. Do you remember Problem Child 2 with the new stepmom and then the grandpa shows up? Remember the grandpa?
Yeah, dude.
Shady
the
grandpa.
Grandma's like, "I'll pick up the scraps, son. If you don't want this chick, I'll bang her."
Yeah, dude. And by the way, that grandpa, he went on to be the dad in Dirty Work with Norm Macdonald.
Yeah.
That guy's great. That guy's an American treasure. We need to cherish that man. He's probably dead now. Rest in
so
peace.
Many dead hookers in my life.
Oh my god.
God knows I. That was a great movie.
It was. So, how toned down do you think the violence will be? Because let's be real right now. Sure, it's 2021. The bar is much higher for violence on cable television than it was in the 90s. Like, you can get away with way more shit. However, do you really think they can get away with the level of horror from the original Child's Play trilogy in a USA Network television show? I'm not buying that for a second.
Nah, it's going to be more of like a light, thriller type.
Yeah. You think so? But dude,
sure.
The whole point of Chucky was seeing a little cute doll stab someone to death.
Yeah,
like, that's the whole point, man. Like, I don't know, dude. How are you going to get away with this without having actual horror?
First of all, they're not going to get away with this.
Yeah.
It's USA and sci-fi. All right, you should have one.
Did you see the SYFY, bro?
I mean, as soon as I saw who was producing it, I was like, doomed. They're going to abandon it after 2 seasons. They're going to be like, critically acclaimed. Never would have thought Chucky would have been Sci-Fi's #1 show. 2 weeks later, canceled. We're booting Stargate back up.
Yeah. When Sci-Fi Channel representatives were reached out to, they responded with, "Cry to Jeff Bezos, you fat man-child."
You fat fuck.
Can real horror exist on cable TV? Because we have American Horror Story. That is on cable TV, right? That's on FX, I think, or AMC, one of the two. There isn't a lot of gore in that show. I feel like it's mostly psychological horror and jump scares and just scary looking things that isn't necessarily rated R. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I'll tell you exactly. Look at things like The Walking Dead and stuff like that. Like, they've had some pretty brutal moments. Look what they did to Glenn. That's
a solid point.
The main takeaway is that television shows are pretty reluctant to do human on human gore and anything happening gory to a human in general that's part of the show. But I could see them I could see Chucky becoming like this Jason Voorhees type entity, that's just always chasing him down. Like, every interaction is like some background character gets killed off in some really non-brutal way, and that's their people die in this show excuse. But the main people, I think they just avoid. I bet you they'll just avoid death, and maybe someone important gets killed off for a finale or something like that. But I don't really see them like being able to take the traditional approach to like a horror movie like Chucky in a like episodic format, like even something as small as like 6 episodes. Like,
well,
we are slowly gonna just kill people off in 6 episodes, or is there going to be an episode where there's a big kill off? Like, it just doesn't really work, you know, whereas in a movie, you know, it's going to end in an hour and a half, and it's just like you expect everyone to die, and it goes by fast, you know? So,
well, if they go that direction, I think it's DOA, because you like the whole point of Chucky is he's killing people. If we have like this weird slow burn where he's like menacing them but not killing them for like 7 episodes, and he finally kills like 1 person in the season finale, that ain't gonna fly. It just won't. It's not gonna happen.
I already told you this isn't gonna fly.
Yeah. That's true, you did. Yeah, but you know, when you mention AMC and their commitment to horror, I really didn't think of that, and I think I would feel a lot better about this Chucky series if it was on AMC. But think about it like this, man. We have 2 networks. USA Network, which is basically known for like soap operas, essentially. And then we have Sci-Fi Channel, SYFY, which is known for really light, schlocky genre television and like reality ghost hunter shit, stuff like that. Neither of them have ever aired violence like that would be in a Child's Play movie. So it's got to make you wonder what's going on here.
Old Sci-Fi, based Sci-Fi did.
Wouldn't it be cool if they rebranded back to SCI-FI with the release of Chucky? They're like, with a new show comes a new identity, and they just go right back. It would
doing a Dune marathon.
Yeah.
Baby, we're back.
Maybe we'll renew Battlestar Galactica. Who knows?
Base Sci-Fi.
All right, Broadcaster Nickels, I have a very important question for you now, and this is one that it breaks my heart to even ask it, but I feel like it has to be asked in the year 2021. Will Chucky go woke? Will Chucky wear like a rainbow flag sticker on his chest? Will they make Chucky gay somehow, even though he has a bride and she's in the show, but they'll somehow find a way to make him gay? Or maybe he'll be transgender. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think they will go woke and go broke, Broadcaster Nickels?
Well, it seems how they're both dolls and they don't have genitals, I hope they don't fucking talk about any of that shit, to be honest.
From your lips to God's ears, Broadcaster Nickels.
I hope they're super, super not woke. I'm hoping like it starts out with like this super cliche like suburby love Chucky coming from home work scene to see like Bride of Chucky just getting nailed by like a big black Chucky doll or something like that. It's like the new Chucky, like the modern day Chucky doll, and it's just like real, and he's just like, you bitch, and fucking just like, and it's like first 5 minutes is them going through like divorce proceedings and shit.
No. First 5 minutes is them reenacting the curb stomp scene from American History X. Then the second 5 minutes is the divorce scene.
Whoa. All right. Let the record show that was not part of my script.
Big Hollywood sunglasses, Broadcaster Nickels. We only do it right.
You know,
Edward
Norton's not the Hulk anymore, is he?
Man, what happened to Ed Norton?
He's actually a pretty cool dude. He was on like one of the last episodes of Joe Rogan podcast I ever found intriguing. He was on.
Oh yeah, I remember that one. That was a good one.
He was really like huge into movie like history. He had really cool stories.
Yeah.
And he was really calm. That was the other thing about Ed that I didn't really think he would be. I always thought he was kind of like this small, bombastic fucking dude. But he was like super calm and calculated.
He's like a Buddhist monk, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, he was kind of.
But what happened to his acting career? Like, he just stopped acting, right? Like, has he been in anything lately?
All the rumors were is that he was like tough to work with. He was like kind of like
Method
Christian
actor,
Bale.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know, man.
Daniel
After everything
Day-Lewis.
that's happened in the past years, I'll chalk it up to just probably
Me too.
didn't suck the right person's dick, and probably just refused to say the right thing and kicked out of Hollywood. So I would do a lot of them.
Yeah, I mean, but the thing is, you look at Nick Cage, the the god of our rating system for season 2.
He would not be considered to be in Hollywood.
No,
He's
that's my point,
outside.
though. That is my exact point, though. Look at Nick Cage. He was an amazing Hollywood actor, Hollywood, quote unquote, in the 90s.
Well, you
And
can
in
stop right
the
there.
early 2000s, and
Nick
then he
fucking Cage.
left Hollywood and he started doing Mandy and Mom and Dad and fucking Pig and all these fucking crazy ass movies.
Because Nick Cage is an actor. Okay.
But Ed Norton could have done the same thing if he wanted to leave Hollywood. He could have gone down the Nick Cage road, but it sounds to me that he's smart with his money and didn't need to, and he's just chilling with some bourbon on a deck somewhere.
Long story short, Ed pays his taxes.
All right. Well, Broadcaster Nickels, I want to end this conversation with a very simple question. What is your favorite Child's Play movie?
Fuck. That was a long time ago.
Just go with your heart. What your child brain remembers. What was the one you liked the most?
I think Bride of Chucky was actually pretty fun.
That's
I'm
when
a
it
big Bride of
pivoted
Chucky.
into comedy. It did.
Because I like how Tilly dies in that movie. She just gets electrocuted in the bathtub. It's like, what? It just gets brought back into a doll. I'm like, that's super creepy.
Yeah. Yeah. Bride of Chucky was good. I liked all of the first 4 Child's Play movies a lot. It's funny. I think the original Child's Play movie is my least favorite from the first 4, which is very rare. Usually the first one is most people's favorites of any IP. But for me, my favorite was Child's Play 2. Because I loved the whole beginning with like the way that he was resurrected at that factory of the good guy dolls and like fucking killed the dude and stole his car and like started calling people to track down Andy. Like I remember just being like, dude, this fucking doll's a gangster. He's like 411 and bitches.
True. You know what? I retract my statement. 2 is definitely better.
2 was fucking awesome.
Sorry, 3, because that 3 has Andy in it, right?
No. 3 is the weird outlier. It's funny with horror movies, not to go too far aside here. There is a weird thing with the third horror movie of any horror IP that started in the 80s. The third movie is always weird as fuck. And Child's Play 3 is no different. Child's Play 3 has Andy in it, but Andy's grown up. And he's with a new kid named Tyler. You remember he goes to like military camp and he goes into like military games and fucking Chucky replaces all of their fake ammunition for their paintball military games with real ammo. And that's the end of the movie is like all these kids like in this weird military training exercise murdering each other with live ammunition that Chucky put in all their rifles.
Oh
man. Yeah, that's what happened in Child's Play 3, and I love Child's Play 3 a lot. But it was all about Tyler in that one, who was definitely like Andy was like a old adult in Child's Play 3. So I still like Child's Play.
A doll getting out of prison. He's just like, I'm gonna kill all these motherfuckers.
I think I watched Child's Play 3 the most out of all of them. It's not my favorite, but I watched it the most, so I have like the most vivid memories of it, and it was great. It had some of like the beginnings of the comedic elements found in Bride of Chucky. They kind of started bubbling in Child's Play 3 a little bit. There were a lot more funny lines in Child's Play 3 than there were in the first 2 movies.
That's probably because they knew they had to pivot a fucking killer doll into something more than a serious horror movie at some point.
Yeah.
It's probably that scene in fucking Child's Play 2. They're probably looking at that scene, that doll fucking calling up a bunch of people to kill somebody. They're like, maybe this is not serious.
Yeah, and I think that's probably why I don't like the first movie that much, because it was a straight horror movie. The original Child's Play was just a legit horror movie. There was almost no comedy in it whatsoever. But I'll never forget Chucky using the car phone in fucking Child's Play 2 to call these people to try and track down Andy. It was just legendary.
Like a mob boss.
Yeah, like for real. That being said, Broadcaster Nickels, are you ready to get to our review of Michael Waldron's Loki?
Sure.
And we're back with our review of Michael Waldron's Loki and the creator of this supposed TV miniseries. It's actually a TV series that will get a season 2, describes it as the following. The mercurial villain Loki resumes his role as the god of mystery.
Mercurial.
In a new series that takes place after the events of Avengers Endgame, the movie that killed the MCU for me, personally, Broadcaster Nickels. Let's just start this off with the fact that Disney Plus is fucking with people. So we start off with WandaVision, which is supposed to just be a TV series. It's going to continue. It's going to have a season 2 and maybe a season 3 or whatever. It's going to be a TV series. Then at the end of it, they announce, it was a one and done limited series. We're good. Then you get to Falcon and the Winter Soldier, limited series, mini series. Okay, here, we're good. Then we get to Loki, and they're like, oh, limited series. We're good. One and done, good to go. That's it. Then at the final episode, in the final scene, it shows a little picture that says, Loki will return for season 2. What in the fuck is going on, Disney Plus? Like, why? Like, do they think that this generates some sort of hype when you like lie to people and then flip flop at the end? Like, that doesn't generate hype. Why are they doing this?
Don't ask me, man. I got good ideas in my head, not bad ideas.
It served no purpose.
I think mercurial is a way of them saying transgender. He's bi-curious. And by that, he makes out with a female version of himself.
Is this not like one of the most myopic, narcissistic takes on a superhero movie of all time? Like, literally a superhero makes out with itself as the finale rolls to credits, like in this like dramatic moment. Like, it's supposed to be Casablanca as he's like leaving her on the runway, but it's just Loki kissing the
Are you talking about the 6th episode?
Yeah, man.
Dude, that was so fucking weird. I was like, this is when you guys are gonna fucking what?
It's so weird that you don't really know what to make of it, because it feels like it's incest, right? But it's not. But it feels like it is. And you don't really know how to like quantify it in your brain because it's such an out there premise. Like, there's one thing I can say about Loki. It is the most out there premise of any superhero property I've ever seen on the big screen in my entire life. It is out there in a number of ways.
Culturally disintegrating.
Hmm.
That's my hot take. That's my Jordan Peterson take on it.
The creator of Loki is Michael Waldron, and he's done a few things. He's not like big or anything. Like, he hasn't done a whole bunch of stuff, but he's done one thing that stood out to me when I looked him up. He wrote the episode from Rick and Morty from season 4, like whatever the last season was that we just reviewed. Remember the episode where he had his private toilet in like a private universe? Like the man on the throne? Yeah. He wrote that episode.
God damn it. I love that episode.
Yeah, the creator of Loki wrote that episode. I'm like, damn, dude. Like, he wrote my favorite episode.
With that episode so much.
That was a great episode.
I was like, I feel it, bro. Like, yeah. I was like, I'd take my toilet time seriously.
That was great. Like, when fucking Rick went to like the bar to like shake down the people, like to find the guy going on his toilet. Like, that was like a scene out of Breaking Bad, but in Rick and Morty. I love that shit.
I just love the fucking, I never had a choice. It fucking kills.
Yeah.
Lets him take his shit into the sunset and fucking just kills him.
Yeah, in terms of his involvement in Loki, he is billed as the creator of the show, and he wrote most of the episodes. I think there's 1 or 2 episodes he didn't write, but he wrote the first episode, he wrote, I think, the 4th and the 5th episode, and maybe the 3rd, but not the 2nd, I don't know. There's maybe 1 or 2 he didn't write. But he didn't direct any of it. He's not a director, apparently. We had this chick, Kate Herron, who directed the entire series, basically.
Sure. They let the talent write it, and then they let the wokeness direct it. I get it.
So let's just break this down a little bit. Like, going very generally speaking, not going into any details, what do you think about the direction and the writing of Loki in general, from beginning to end?
Well, I thought the actual the comedy was funny. Like, I liked a lot of it. Like, It wasn't like, I think surprisingly the least funny part of the whole 6 episodes was Owen Wilson in the end.
I know. I was going to say that too, but you beat me to it.
At first, I was going to be like, "Oh, this guy's going to be keeping this shit together on episode 1," but then I was just like, "Wow." He's like not even like
he was the straight man.
Yeah, dude. He's just like straight and narrow, bro. Just doing it by the books, you know. But dude, Alligator Loki was fucking hilarious to me.
Yeah, I love that.
I love that. I usually don't even like that shit, you know. Like, I don't like Spidey Pig and all that fucking weird kid shit. But like when I saw that alligator with the alligator or the fucking Loki crown on it, I just cracked up.
Yeah, me too. That was great. Yeah, that entire episode, the 5th episode, was just an amazing episode of television from beginning to end.
Who's the guy they got to play Wise or Old Loki or Wise Loki or whatever they call him?
I don't know, but he's a British actor because I've seen him in a bunch of British television. So I know he's a British actor. He's probably a friend of Tom Hiddleston's. I'm guessing that he is a buddy of his. He's like, hey, come do Loki show with me. You can be this old Loki.
One thing before I forget it, is this fucking show replaced another redhead with a black chick? I'm telling you, dude. There's like,
I knew you were gonna bring this up. Go on.
These motherfuckers, dude. They can't help themselves. It's like, oh, is that a female redhead right there? Let's turn her into a black woman. I swear to fucking God, dude.
And who are you speaking of? You're talking about my favorite mulatto judge.
Dude, she was a tall white woman with red hair. I mean, she had a goofy fucking outfit on, don't get me wrong. But
yeah, and I'm going to go out right now and say that Renslayer was the worst portrayed character in the show. Or not the worst, but close to the worst. But for how pivotal of a role she had, she was the worst. Because my other complaints are less pivotal characters. She was pivotal, and she acted wooden as fuck. She has absolutely no acting talent.
Yeah, no. She was definitely what we call a Weinstein hire.
Yeah. I'll bet Owen Wilson did some movies with Brett Weinstein.
Damn, dude. Why you gotta throw our boy under the bus like that?
Sorry, I couldn't help myself. Wow. Evergreen for life, sucker.
No jet skis for you, bro.
I do think that Owen Wilson carried the first... This show is really 2 shows. The first 3 episodes are 150% different than the second 3 episodes. Actually, it's more like the first 2 versus the second 4. Yeah, it's more like it. I will say right now that Wilson, although he was the straight man, he carried the beginning of the show. If it were not for him, I might have quit watching.
Yeah, I mean, before all the variants get introduced.
Yes.
Female Loki and Kang. Well, Kang, that doesn't even happen until the final episode, but
Kang.
You know, what's funny?
I guess you think it is Kang. Then I was going to ask you that, but
guys, definitely Kang.
definitely,
No doubt.
Kang.
Yeah, no doubt, 100% Kang. I'll
Yeah,
tell you that right now. What is
maybe
funny? Though,
I don't know. When
is
he
that
explained
they
his
made him-
backstory, the thing with me is so. I actually
That's
know
Kang's
who Kang
backstory.
is because Kang is an old school comic book character, like before the 2000s or the late 90s when I stopped reading comics. Kang's old school. Like he's from the beginning of the Avengers.
Yeah.
And I have heard people say he's Kang, but
He's
I'm not
definitely
100% sure he is because the backstory he gave didn't match.
It did. I mean, it's probably slightly different because it's fucking MCU or whatever.
So you think
but-
that they're just changing it enough and they're still going to call him Kang is what you're basically
Well, there was
saying.
enough parallel to make it sound like it was Kang. Like when he said that he says he's the nicest. When they were having that conversation and Loki was just like pretty much insinuating how he was scared of fucking the guy that remains or the he who remains or whatever. And he's just like, well, that's funny because I'm scared of myself. Insinuating that he's the nicest version of himself. That is kind of a little side story of Kang the Conqueror, because there's a comic where it just goes into like a time cop type fucking style story with Kang, how he goes through all the time streams and kills the versions of himself to become like the omnipotent Kang, you know?
When did this come out? I don't think I've read that one.
I think this was probably like early 2000s or something.
Yeah, okay, that's all right. So that makes sense that I don't know about that then.
Yeah.
Like my knowledge of him is a lot different. I know him as Immortus and King Tut or whatever. What his original version was so corny. He was like a fucking weird Egyptian pharaoh guy, and like,
well, he's like tons of like famous people throughout like different times. Like he's always like a pivotal character in some fucking timeline.
Yeah, they kind of made him like that man from Guilty Gear.
They did kind of. There was a really cool comic I was reading. I forget what it was, where like this person that was with him the whole time, who was like supposed to be like a new mutant or something. Like I forget what the exact storyline, but they were taking him along because he had like some type of potential of some kind that was pivotal to the storyline. And then in the end, he ended up being like an alternate Kang. And it was like,
and he just backstabbed him at the end.
Yeah, and I was like, that was dope as fuck.
Oh my god. So what do you think about Owen Wilson in the show in terms of like comparing him to Robert Downey Jr.? Because if you remember when Iron Man first came out, Robert Downey Jr. was kind of in the same sort of lull that Owen Wilson is in right now. Do you think that this could possibly be like an Iron Man moment for Owen Wilson? This is going to reignite his career?
I mean, personally, I would love it to be. But I can't really think Mobius is going to be like a pivotal character going forward for like the main storyline.
Listen, season 2's confirmed, bro. You know that.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Are you saying he's gonna get killed in the first episode of season 2? He's gonna die horribly like Ale. Ale!
No, I'm just saying, like, he's not really that exciting in the comics, and he's not, like, a huge character in the comics, just even to today.
Mm-hmm.
So, I feel like he's kind of was just brought along.
That is a good point, because when Robert Downey Jr. played Iron Man at that time was
fucking Iron Man.
He was fucking Iron Man. Yeah, like fucking yeah, like Ozzy Osbourne's most famous song was called Iron Man. Like this is not a small time character. So you do have a good point on that one. Maybe Owen Wilson needs to do a few more chores before he gets his allowance.
Who knows, though? I mean,
you know, the last movie I saw with Owen Wilson was that it came out exactly 10 years ago before this season came out. That's how long it'd been since I've seen Owen Wilson in anything. It was 10 years. I didn't even realize it till I looked it up. And I'm like, what was the last movie I saw him in? I looked at it was A Night in Paris that came out in 2011. I'm just like, God damn, dude. I love that guy. What happened to him?
I mean, how old was he in 2011?
Probably my age now.
Nah,
Oh yeah, Owen Wilson's close to 50. He's a decade older than me plus, for sure.
Huh.
Oh, for sure, dude.
Maybe he took a break. I know if I had money, I'd get the fuck out of there.
I mean, Rush Hour came out when I was 12. He was in his, early 20s when he made that, so, yeah.
What do you think about making Kang black?
Yeah, I know, it's weird too. It's weird because when I look at Immortus and Kang, I see like an apocalypse figure. I don't see a white or a black man. I see Apocalypse, you know what I mean? He's like that type of villain. And when I saw him I don't even know if it's him. That's the thing. Like, I know you believe fully it's him, but I'm not. I feel like it could be a fake out. Maybe I'm going too deep and I'm giving them too much credit, but there's just a few things about the way they introduce that character who is officially in Loki. They call him what? He Who Remains. That was his name.
Yeah.
Like credited name in the show.
Yeah.
So it does fit certain aspects of Kang, or what was his original name? I don't even remember anymore. He had like a human name. Yeah.
The only reason I mean, the fact that Renslayer's there in the story too. I mean, like, it's definitely Kang.
I know they want you to think it's Kang, but I feel like they left enough differences to where it's like, maybe not, but probably, but maybe not. I don't know.
Fucking high, dude.
I don't know, man.
You're getting woke on me. You taking corporate money?
No. See,
where's my sponsorship cut?
You might be right. I might be giving Disney a little bit too much credit with this, but there's something weird about it when I was watching it. I just was like, man, the portrayal, like you mentioned, by a black man who I liked, by the way. I loved his acting ability. He's probably one of the best actors in this entire show.
Definitely.
He was amazing. Like, I loved him.
Guess what? He only had fucking one episode to be in. So
and
no
man,
pressure.
did he made the most of it, though, didn't he?
God. I mean, that's like the ultimate smooth gig. You're like, I got to come in at the end and be the cool, like, final, like, bit of information. Mm-hmm. It's like, I mean, that's easy, man.
Yeah.
Your literal scene is made to be cool. Like,
yeah. The thing that really made me wonder about him, like, the whole concept of the variants, he started talking about his quote-unquote original variant, who was the scientist from the 31st century or whatever, who would be Kang, right? That's who if we're to believe he's Kang, they're implying that is Kang, and that's who is, in the end of the show, is the statue in the final scene or whatever.
That's definitely Kang in the statue. That's his suit. That's Kang's suit.
You're probably right. I'm playing a little devil's advocate here because they've left a few little breadcrumbs where I'm just like, are they doing this just because it's TV and they're going to change shit? Or are they doing this to give us hints when they eventually say it's not Kang? Like, hey, look at this and this and this. That's why it wasn't Kang, dummy.
The main reason why I think it's Kang is, one, Fantastic Four. Phase 4, Fantastic Four, it's all happening. Mobius, the first time he ever appeared was in Fantastic Four. I mean, Kang, like, all of it just seems to be like this. It's definitely introducing Kang, because on top of that, there is the multiverse of madness with Doctor Strange. And now that they're showing all the timelines, like, are the multiverse happening at the end of Loki? It's pretty much, it's like, okay, now we know where Doctor Strange is going. The fact that Kang would be involved with timelines and multiverses, this all makes sense. You know, like, it seems, it makes sense for Kang to be one of the new big baddies.
Mm-hmm.
It wouldn't make sense to introduce, at this point, at least, say, Galacticus or fucking Annihilus or Ultron again, or
Ultron again.
Fucking I mean, there's all kind. I mean, all the other big baddies are kind of. I mean, everything else is kind of locked down by IPs that haven't been introduced. You know, you could do like the Phoenix Force and stuff like that, but like you haven't introduced X-Men yet.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I don't know. Kang just makes sense as far as like
it does.
Everything goes.
I feel like that could be a part of the grift, though, is how much it makes sense. But, you know...
I like that angle.
One thing is, like, I don't want to dwell on this too much, but my final point will be the way they framed variants doesn't add up. There is, in the original MCU, there is no original variant. Everyone is just a variant. The way that He Who Remains described his backstory is that Kang is the original variant. He is number 1 on a hierarchical list of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like going upwards.
Yeah, there's the Prime Universe, the 616 Earth. That's where all the original characters of Marvel are at.
Right, and now we're going into this multiverse. So you think that Kang came from an original version of the universe and not the multiverse, is what you're telling me.
Well,
I know this gets into the weeds a lot.
I can't really answer that question because Marvel Comics, which is what 616 the term and the whole Prime line comes from, is not exactly the same as MCU. Mm-hmm. But on top of that, the comics already start out as a multiverse. When they introduce you to the idea of Earth being 616, they're like, no, it is a multiverse, and this is another planet. This is where the Ultimates are at and shit. Mm-hmm. Whereas MCU, like, you asking the question kind of like, is this the, you know, the Kang from the Prime universe or the multiverse? Well, I think in MCU, the multiverse is just starting. So, and then on top of this, so I think it's just unique because Kang's a time traveler. Mm-hmm. So Kang also has that kind of time cop thing where he has a copy of himself in every timeline or whatever like that, that he's hunting down. So I think that's really the only thing.
There can be only one.
You know, it kind of answers your question a little bit, I guess. It's definitely not. He's definitely not a multiverse Kang, but he is the time traveler Kang. So I guess he is the multiverse. Well, you know.
Well, to answer your original question, I like the cool black dude they cast as Kang. Like I'm not offended by him at all. He's one of my favorite characters in Loki. He was awesome.
That really shitty Lovecraftian show on HBO. They got canceled.
Oh, was he in that? Yeah. I was gonna watch that, and like the day I was gonna start watching it, they announced the cancellation. I was like, nope, not gonna do it.
Yeah.
Never started it. Damn. Well, I like that guy a lot, so now I kind of want to watch it. Damn. That's weird too, that like you cast him from this Lovecraftian sort of TV show and bring him onto Loki into the MCU, in which a point where it's going to kind of get a little Lovecraftian-y. It's a little weird coincidence, don't you think?
It's just a little bit.
Well, Tom Hiddleston was great as usual. What do you think about him? Do you like him as Loki? Like, what do you think about Tom Hiddleston in general?
Well, I think this is where my main criticism of the series goes. Is just Tom Hiddleston and the portrayal of Loki in general over time. This is like the cuckening of fucking Loki. This whole series,
like, a little bit.
Cements him as like not. Like I watched somebody like talking about this, and he showed a video of the original movie Loki was in, where he was talking shit to Natasha. He's talking about fucking like ripping open fucking Filson or whatever that guy's name was, and watching him bleed out and die in front of her and shit. And he's saying it in like a prison cell, and it's pretty visceral. He sounds evil as fuck. And then you compare him to this fucking Loki, where he's kissing himself, and I don't know. It's different.
It is different, and you could feel it from the beginning. It's funny because like you're supposed to believe at the beginning of the show
This is the guy that like sent an alien force on a bunch of people and murdered, pretty much responsible for all their deaths, and we're like trying to turn him into a good guy.
It's weird too because it's like that's part of the genius of having Owen Wilson be like his counterpart in this show, that like he sort of humanizes Loki in a weird way that you never thought was possible, and I kind of give Owen Wilson a lot of credit for that. It's one of the reasons I love his performance in this so much is he made me buy the Loki transformation. Like that whole first episode where he's like digging into Loki about like, who are you? What do you think you are? What do you do in your life? Like the way that he kind of went at him like a little mosquito. I just really appreciated his performance in that. Like the beginning of this show was Owen Wilson Town, population 1. Owen fucking Wilson. But I like Tom Hiddleston as an actor, and I think that the Disney Channel is very, very lucky to have him. I feel like Tom Hiddleston is like in that type of class where it's like, you just think he'd just like flip them off and quit at this point. But he's sticking with them, and I think they should be very thankful to that motherfucker.
No. He's sticking with the Brinks money track.
Hold on, reverse lights are on. Gotta get prepared for the next ship.
Anytime they fucking feel dissent in one of their actors' voices, they just like they send a Brinks truck and the actors flip their blinds, they look out their driveway and there's a Brinks truck. Like, oh, absolutely, what a great idea.
One thing I'll say about this show that is on the praise tally, every episode felt like a movie. And for a short television series like this, that's only 6 episodes long, that's what you want. Because if every episode felt like a normal television episode, 6 episodes, you'd be like, what? Okay. Like, sure. But every time I watched an episode of Loki, I felt like I was sitting down for an MCU movie, not a television show.
Wow. That's quite the praise. What would you say about James Wood? Or not James Wood. What's that guy's name? James Spader. James Spader's performance as Ultron.
I fucking loved it.
Would you say each scene with him was its own individual movie?
No. That's a weird... We're going into some murky territory here, Broadcaster Nickels. Speaking of, though, if you love James Spader, you should be watching The Blacklist right now. James Spader,
or
Blacklist.
Base Sci-Fi would hire
Base
Spader for the new Stargate.
Oh my god, dude! Would that not be the craziest thing? Like if they rebooted Stargate and they're like, "Well, Michael Shanks, get on the bench, son, because my
what about
man,
the guy Kurt Russell, dude?
Well, Kurt Russell,
Spader,
dude,
dope.
That's a great point. Kurt Russell and James Spader are totally gettable.
It's a thing. Think about it.
Well, Richard Dean Anderson is too fat and happy, and he doesn't want anything a part of that. I think Michael Shanks would actually challenge James Spader to like a UFC fight, just to like get the role.
Or they could do alternate timelines.
Oh,
think about it, man. What if Spader on Shanks action, dude?
The SGU, the real SGU,
dude. The prime SGU versus the fucking television SGU. And we can get the Atlantis team too, but they're just gonna get killed off in like 2 episodes.
They can just get killed off by Chucky on the USA Network.
Yeah, Shepard will make it to episode 2, but eventually he'll fall too.
All right, well, getting back to Loki, I really appreciated how high the budget of each of these episodes was. Like, just comparing it to the previous Disney Plus show, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, it feels like Loki had triple the budget.
Loki had way more budget than either of the other shows, no doubt.
Yeah, well, Yeah, I agree with you. It feels like they, but did they really? Or are you sure it wasn't just Michael Waldron being like a technical genius and using the money better? Are you sure about that?
Maybe. I mean, I feel like just with the elements they were bringing up in Loki, like, just justifies the reason why they had more money. Like, introducing villains like Kang and having a big name actor like Hiddleston's a bigger actor currently than, Elizabeth Olsen or Paul Bettany. Like, those are both kind of small actors outside of the MCU.
That's
like,
a good point.
They almost don't act at all. Tom Hiddleston actually has gotten some roles recently outside of the MCU, so I think it's probably part of his contract.
That's a good point. But Anthony Mackie is in a lot of shit. So do you
Anthony Mackie, dude, that guy's a terrible. I mean, dude, he's doing.
He is
Netflix
terrible,
series,
but he's in a lot of shit.
That guy is lucky to be in the MCU. Dude.
That guy sunk Altered Carbon.
Now,
he killed Altered Carbon.
Good point. He did kill Altered Carbon. The year Anthony Mackie entered the MCU was the same year they started writing. They started writing his character in the comics.
Oh my God, right. Are you kidding me?
That's right, yeah. So the Falcon becoming Captain America happened the same year Anthony Mackie actually joined the MCU. So it's like it was destined to happen. Okay.
Oh, you're unraveling the tapestry right now, Broadcaster Nickels. I like this. So this is I feel like we need Alex Jones right now on the podcast to discuss this with us, because this is quite the conspiracy you have. You think that this is the whole Falcon becoming the Captain America might just be a conspiracy?
Well, it's already accepted knowledge that they're actively making the current comics more woker and diverse to make that type of stuff canon. So then they can add it to their movies and not have the cultural elitist nerds, in their own words, be like, that's not like the comics, when really they just want a good fucking piece of entertainment. But nonetheless, that's what they're trying to do.
That's a great point. Well, on the positive end, Broadcaster Nickels, I'll just say that I thought the writing in Loki was really good. I am a stickler for writing in television. When writing is bad in a television series, it like sticks out like a sore thumb to me. Like, I just kind of get like weird and jittery when I'm around it. I'm just like, oh, I can't even watch this shit. It's uncomfortable. I get that with a lot of really corny writing. I didn't get that once in this show. But the direction, I will say, was a little bit more hit and miss. Especially with the second episode. I thought the second episode was horrible.
It was a waste.
It was just a bullshit 1 hour stampede through a futuristic Walmart. All it did was create the opportunity for male Loki and female Loki to meet and for the rest of the show go on. But other than that, the whole episode was garbage. And it was directionally pointless. They did not frame it in a way that made it feel important. And the way that they framed the female Loki at the end of episode 1 that leads into episode 2 with like that whole like field that gets lit on fire, and then like all like the fucking TVA guys get caught in the ring of fire and get children of the corn. Keep it topical.
It was good. It was a good pull. I can appreciate it.
The direction made no sense compared to the rest of the show. What do you think?
I mean, I criticize almost anything Marvel. So
it's easy to criticize a lot of Marvel right now.
I don't know. The series overall just seemed kind of like one of those Disney forays, where it's like, oh, look, this character's here this episode, and this character's here this episode, and nothing really actually happens the whole series besides at the very end. When you're like, oh, the multiverse. This is like the start of the multiverse happening, and they're introducing Kang, and then now I get why the title of Doctor Strange is the way it is, and blah blah blah, and Elizabeth Olsen's going to be in there. So it's like, really, the whole series was just a setup for a movie.
I don't know about
really
that.
On face value didn't even look like it was connected at all.
See, I would have 100% agreed with you before the whole Loki will be back for season 2 at the end of the final episode.
Well, you have to understand, season 2 of Loki doesn't have to be anything like season 1. I mean, season 2 could take place 4 movies later.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Damn. You're dropping truth bombs tonight, Broadcaster Nickels. Well, for me, I will say the perceived wokeness of the show, which early on with Loki, I was really excited for it. When I saw the original trailer with Owen Wilson in the elevator, I was really excited for it. But as it got closer to release, they kept releasing little tidbits that made me less excited for it. Like a lot of SJW talking points. I don't think most of those ever actually came into fruition. If I'm being really honest, the only real SJW factors of Loki are Renslayer.
Hey, fuck, this shit sucks.
I mean, Renslayer. I mean, when you take a pure ginger girl and you turn her into Renslayer of Loki,
like they do with all ginger girls. In
yes,
MCU.
The ginger holocaust continues. That is definitely, I'll put that down on the column of wokeness. But other than that, and other than like that strong black woman soldier of the TVA, what was her? Like, she's like Hunter 15 or some shit. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah.
I mean, she was clearly framed as like the strong black woman of the show, like the intersectional champion of Loki.
Isn't it B-15 or something? B-15?
Something like that. I think that those elements of the show are pretty much paper thin.
To say the least.
Like they're almost like not even there. Like they're just there to be there for brief moments, and every time they show up again, you're like, "Oh yeah, you're here." For no reason.
It's called diversity points.
But I found it interesting how they shed all of that towards the middle of the series. When it became the Loki show, like Loki and female Loki. For the last 3 episodes.
Like I said, diversity points. They got to check all the boxes. Make sure people are like, why didn't you give this strong black woman any time? Like, she would look like a really cool character, even though she fucking is not.
Dude, I couldn't, like, when they first showed female Loki at the end of episode 2, I was so pissed. I was like, you really, really had to make her a Brie Larson lookalike with, like, the exact same facial acting skills of Brie Larson? Like the same, like, stink faces and all that shit. I'm just like, dude, really? Come on, man.
Yeah, strong, one-note female characters.
Yeah. Sigourney Weaver should be doing a master class for female actresses right now, and every single female actress in Hollywood, period, should be attending it. So, like, there should be like 1,000 people in Sigourney Weaver's master class, and she should just be lecturing these bitches. Like, this is how you do shit. This is how you not do shit. You'll never see this again because this is how we do shit, and you'll never understand how to not do shit again. I think that she could make some money. What do you think?
I don't know. I think it's just the money. You're not allowed to make characters like Ripley.
You're not. I know. Not. It's funny because you say that. Did you ever watch Battle Angel Alita? It's like a James Cameron CG anime movie. That was like the most Sigourney Weaver female lead character I've seen since the 90s, and it got panned by the critics. It got
sure it did.
It got panned so hard, and I'm just sitting here like, oh, okay. You don't want real strong female leads. You want your political talking points represented. in a
When
propaganda
surveyed,
film.
they said too strong
Too
of
strong.
a female.
Too strong. Too strong. Much
Can we
like my
get it-
coffee.
Can I get these sent back? Just a little less strong. Thank you.
Well, back to the win column. I will say I loved the last 3 episodes of the show a lot. The first 3 episodes, if we weren't reviewing this for our podcast, I might have quit in episode 2. I was so depressed after I finished episode 2. I was like, this is fucking god-awful bullshit. I really liked episode 4, 5, and 6. Especially episode 5 with all the goofy Loki variants and like their little civil war on the planet. Like, that whole thing cracked me up, and it was like just pure comic goodness from back in the day. It didn't feel tainted by current bullshit.
There's a part of Loki for everyone.
But what really got me was the final episode when they get to the Citadel at the end of time, which, by the way, I love that whole concept. I love the way they portrayed it. It reminded me of like a JRPG when you get to the final level. Like, remember, not to mention the worst Final Fantasy VIII, but remember in Final VIII VIII when
The school turned into a dragon?
when you realize all of your orphan friends are like, you're all related or whatever, and you go up to the moon to fight. What's her name? You know what I'm talking about. Remember that cat? Do you remember her Ultimisha's castle on the moon when you first got there?
It was dope.
That is literally what I thought of when they ended episode 5 and going into episode 6 when they showed the Citadel at the end of time or whatever they call it. It totally reminded me of Ultimisha's castle on the moon. It was really cool. I love that whole aspect. And then when you walk inside at the very beginning of episode 6, the stupid CG animated clock character that was in all the propaganda movies just does like a crazy jump scare. And then like at first you're like, what the fuck? And then she starts talking more and more and you're like, oh my God, the clock was in charge of the TVA. I loved that, dude. That was such a great reveal. Like the stupid holographic clock cartoon ends up being the sinister leader of the TVA, who's the middleman up to between the guy, He Who Remains. It's a great little reveal. That was one of my favorite parts of the show, honestly.
I'm glad you liked it.
Damn. All right, well, moving on. Did the multiverse war triggered by female Loki start before or after Loki's final scene starts with Owen Wilson, the version of Owen Wilson who doesn't know who he is? And then you see that Kang statue. Do you think that in that scene, that's post the multiverse war that supposedly is triggered by female Loki, or do you think that's pre that war and that the season 2 is going to start at the beginning of that war?
That's a good question. I never thought. I mean, I would assume it's before. I don't know now. Now you point it out. That's a good question. Probably after.
See, I think if it's before, it points to him not being Kang. And I think if it's after, it points to him being Kang.
Well, yeah. I think the way they're going to take this is that's not Kang.
It's not Kang.
But one of the variants is going to be Kang type of thing,
Yeah.
They're going to be like, low grade gotcha, Totally fooled you there.
All right, Broadcaster Nickels. What's your favorite episode
Oh, F5 for sure.
Did you call it F5?
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I love that. Journey into mystery.
Furious 5 was my favorite of the Fast and Furious movies.
Fast 5 was a great movie.
It's about family.
It's all about family.
No, but episode 5 is probably the best, no doubt. I mean,
Broadcaster Nickels, Vin Diesel as Jax, go. Yeah, I loved episode 5 as well, but I want to hear why you liked it, and then I'll tell you why I liked it.
Well, I don't think I liked it for any really profound reason other than, just obviously Renslayer kind of her story goes into like slowly going to find out what's the guy's name again? He Who Remains or whatever.
Yeah.
That starts, and then I'm like, all right, well, that's kind of intriguing. And then the fucking classic Loki, alligator Loki, and kid Loki little storyline where they're escaping is super funny. Mm-hmm. I love that. That was probably the pinnacle of the series for me.
Wow, really?
Yeah. I just loved it. I don't know. Classic Loki was super cool.
Yeah, I liked all the Loki versions.
When I think of Loki comics, in the very limited Loki comics I've read, it's always one of two things. It's rather he's on some crazy, wacky adventure type shit that involves multiple versions of himself, or doing something like that where you see alligator Loki or something like that. Or it's him fighting Thor.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I feel like this whole series was neither of those until 5.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
also the fact that classic Loki's the only person that can talk to alligator Loki was really fucking funny.
That
could be its own series in itself right there. Let me tell you.
Yes, Broadcaster Nickels. That is why my favorite episode is also Journey into Mystery, episode 5, and the reason I like it is what you just mentioned. The classic Loki with like the old British actor he's the only one who can talk to alligator Loki. And I love like the fact that alligator Loki has like some lip. Like he's like an angsty teenage. That just cracked me the fuck up for some reason. I enjoyed the fuck out of that. And then like when they get to their hideout, and it's just like some little 13-year-old kid. He's just like ruling, and they're all bowing to him, and Loki's just like, what the fuck? Why are you guys just like bowing to this 13-year-old? And then like all the other rogue Lokis come in to attack him because like his Loki ally betrayed them. Like that whole thing was one of the greatest comic book TV moments of my entire life. I loved that part so much.
Yeah.
It was great, dude. And then that's not even it though. Like you go into it and you have like this crazy cloud monster that like the whole premise of the episode is way beyond what we're talking about. It's like you're stuck in the void, like this dead planet where this cloud monster eats time and space, and you're just constantly running from it.
By the way, I think that's Galacticus.
Oh shit.
I think that was, I don't know if that's Galacticus or if like, so this, when I first saw that, I had this epiphany, right? I was like, well, in the old, really shitty Fantastic Four movies that no one liked, Galacticus was this cloud that like came by and ate planets and shit like that. And I was like, what if they're taking that idea, right? Because it's the multiverse now.
Mm-hmm. Everything's on the table.
Yeah, what if that is Galacticus and like somehow he gets like by way of the multiverse getting broken apart and sewn back together eventually, like it's inevitably going to be done, that maybe the traditional Galactus yeah, I'm sorry, I've been saying it wrong. Galactus from the comics actually gets formed out of that really shitty cloud version of him. That's what I'm thinking. Maybe once he devours enough time and space, he'll put on his purple uniform.
Perhaps, but In the meantime, Broadcaster Nickels, what is your least favorite episode of Loki season 1?
Probably 2. Yeah,
wow. 2. I think this is the first time we have ever reviewed a TV show where our favorite and least favorite episode are exactly the same.
It was just like in a series where like I said, where all of it was pretty much filler till episode 5 for me. Like 2 felt like the most filler. You know, like I liked 1 through 3 just because the Owen Wilson factor, you know, the whole buddy cop thing going on. But 2 just felt like
2 was bad.
Yeah, it was just like the very end was the whole point of 2 being an episode. You know, it's like, oh, female Loki. Okay.
Oh, why didn't we just Brie Larson 2.0? Cool. Yeah.
Can we just done that in another episode? Like, you know.
How about we get Anna Kendrick? Like, why do we have to have a fucking stupid ass Brie Larson look like?
I will say, like, chasing the disasters could have been a great idea, but I don't know. They just didn't make it happen. Like when they go to Pompeii, like they had a really cool. I mean, they got the budget for CGI and stuff. You guys could have done some really dope shit.
They cheaped out on that scene. That was one of the cheapest scenes in the entire show.
Yeah, this is clearly green screen.
Yeah, it was really bad. That was the only one that stood out, honestly.
It's phoned in.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, my least favorite episode is also episode 2, The Variant. It is god awful. The whole premise is like the first episode ends with Owen Wilson being like, "We need you to help us track down the worst variant." And he's like, "Who? You, the other Loki that we've been tracking." It's like, okay, well, whatever. You go into it and it shows like that like whole like demon hunter trapping the zombies in the fucking fire circle, and it looks all cool and shit, and you're like, oh, this could be good. And then it goes into it and it ends up being fucking Brie Larson 2.0, and the whole premise of the episode is like, oh, we're going into the climate change apocalypse. This is the woke episode of the show. This is the one that has overt SJW politics in it. The whole premise...
I totally forgot about that.
The whole premise is that climate change has destroyed the planet, and like they're in like the last Walmart of Louisiana or whatever.
Yeah. 2050.
And they go in and it's just like, okay, that just looks like a standard store from now, but okay, it's going to be Walmart in the future in Louisiana, and everything about it was bad. Like the acting with Loki towards Owen Wilson was bad. It was out of place. Like all of a sudden, all their chemistry was lost, and it just became like this little wooden exercise between the two. And I'm just like, oh, this is a sign. Something weird's about to happen because of the tone difference between the way Loki talked to Mobius as opposed to the first episode.
It's about to get gender bent up in here.
Yeah. And then they show like Loki, the woman Loki's version where she can like mind control people, and like they kind of explain that. And it was just kind of cringy the way they introduced it. It wasn't well represented, and she just kind of like glossed over the fact, I'm just going to touch you and I'm going to mind control you. But like they tried to make it seem like it was more than that, but it wasn't. And the way they showed like these hunters getting mind controlled by her, like how they just fell to her so easily, and like the way she was able to like just line all of those little time bomb devices the TVA has, and she like linked them all together all around the Walmart in such a way where no one noticed it. It was unbelievable. It was a bunch of bullshit, man. I didn't buy it. I didn't like any of the acting performances. I didn't like the direction. I didn't like the writing. I didn't like anything about episode 2.
We'll blame Alyssa Karasik.
Oh, shit. Did she write it?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I had a feeling that our boy Michael Waldron did not write that episode, but thank you for confirming.
Michael only wrote the first and last episode.
That makes sense, because the first and last episodes were probably not the best, but second to best.
Some hitter named Tom Kaufman came in and did episode 5, though. Absolute assassin.
Yeah, dude, that guy needs to get hired by someone. That was a great fucking episode. That being said, Broadcaster Nickels, as you know, here in the CCP, we are the alt-right, and we have a system in which we design...
Canada. Oh, sorry, wrong one.
We design our hits and our misses and our whiffs in a specific way in which it will align with the CCP, because that's how we roll, Broadcaster Nickels. On that system of totalitarian control, what do you rate the hit?
I mean, it's pretty easy. It's going to go to the relationship of Classic and Alligator Loki. That is the hit of the series. It's a relationship that won't be forgotten. Hopefully, it gets put into a whole different series because it's a better idea than this whole series, in my opinion.
Dude, for sure. Like, if they did a series starring the old Loki and the Alligator Loki, I'd pre-order it on Blu-ray.
I know, right? I would send Disney a message. I'm like, these are the big brain ideas I've been waiting for, okay?
Well, Broadcaster Nickels, my hit is Alioth, the Guardian Beast. I didn't think Loki was going to have a villain. I honestly thought about halfway through, I'm like, this is going to be one of those shows where there is no real villain. And it kind of just like ends with like a fucking All in the Family sort of like Wonder Years type of like nonsensical ending where nothing really happens. And it's like, oh, you were just here to pay us money because we needed our bills paid. Type of thing. When we got to episode 5, they sent our boy, the original Loki, or the male Loki, or whatever Loki you want to call the Loki we've known forever, to the Void. We were greeted by this crazy cloud monster. That is one of the coolest things I've seen in a comic book TV series ever. The way, like, they just send him there. It's like, you think he's dead. By the way, at the end of episode 4, you think... This is what I thought at the end of episode 4. I thought male Loki was dead. This was all about female Loki killing male Loki to take his place. I'm like, oh, okay, this is what it was all about. Cool. All right, whatever. Game over. Then episode 5 comes, and it immediately shows male Loki showing up on this void planet with this cloud monster, and it was... I don't even know how to describe it, dude. It looks like something I would make. Like, it was really cool. The way that it was just like this omnipresent, evil cloud of darkness. It reminded me of like Final Fantasy III.
Alioth is the creature that controlled time and space before the Kangs started doing it.
Well... So, I like that.
There you go.
Alioth was fucking badass. I loved that entire episode. You know what it was like? It was sort of like Cloverdale. Remember that? J.J. Abrams, Cloverdale?
Yeah.
Like, before he ruined it with Cloverdale 3, the first Cloverdale had like this weird vibe of sort of like this like smoke monster from Lost, but like off screen, and you're just kind of always feeling it, but it was never there. That's kind of like the thing I got with the Alioth, but more omnipresent and more, actually shown on screen, but the same sort of vibe. I just really like that they threw a real sort of like evil presence in at the end, because I wasn't feeling that through the most of the show. That being said, Broadcaster Nickels, what is your miss?
I mean, there's a lot of misses here. Let's, I think I'll save that for the whiff.
I'll save that for the whiff.
I think the miss was the egregious replacement of the race of Renslayer. Just because there's another redhead, and I gotta stand up for my redheads. I feel like we're being prosecuted. We're being persecuted in these Marvel ways. I like, where's our chance? You know, you're literally like, everyone that has red hair gets turned into a black person. It's becoming alarming. I'm not sure if redheaded people should be more offended or black people should be more offended. But it's happening. It's happening in real time.
It is. As a daywalker, I was also semi-offended by that, but my miss is the casting of female Loki, Sylvie. Why in the fuck did they have to pick a Brie Larson lookalike? Why did they have to pick someone that just invokes the exact same weird emotions that she does, where she's sort of like this off-putting, blonde, powerful female who like sort of like just ups her nose at everything and sort of just like snubs everything and is kind of just like this type character. There were so many better options for the female Loki. Like, you know what? You could have made up for Renslayer by casting the female Loki as like that hot redhead chick from Mad Men. You know what I mean? Just bring like the hottest redhead chick you know to be the female Loki.
I just realized that the Sylvie chick is Enchantress. It's real.
That being said, Broadcaster Nickels, what is your whiff?
The whiff is the lack of screen time Owen Wilson gets. What the fuck, guys?
Yeah, in the second half? Yeah.
You get a big name, big dick swinging like fucking Wilson man coming in, and you got 3 episodes for him? 4? Unbelievable. That guy should have been main line, hitting the vein every fucking episode. I mean, in the end, we should have gotten an end credit scenes with fucking Wilson having bruised with Alligator Loki. You know, like, what's going on here? You know, could you imagine Alligator Loki on a jet ski?
Yes.
Think about it.
I want to think about it.
These are things that coulda, shoulda happened.
Well, my whiff is Hunter B-15.
That's a whiff?
This is the token intersectional strong woman character, and you can smell her a mile away. Every scene she's in is like, I'm here to be a strong, powerful black woman, and I don't take no shit from no one. She had absolutely no depth to her. She was the most cardboard 2D character of the entire show in terms of main characters. Every time she was on the screen, I was just like, you are making the show worse, not better.
You want to know something?
Yes.
She, too, was a redhead.
Are you kidding? Are you being serious right now?
I don't remember.
They were all redheads originally.
I think she might have been made up just for the show.
Probably. Well, Broadcaster Nickels, speaking of made up things for this show, we have an official, patented cage rating system here on the Crack Cellar Podcast. And on that system, what do you rate Loki?
You know, it's hard. It's hard for a gangster out here, but when considering such low-grade material, I have to take careful consideration because the Cage Man's faces are on every single one of these ranks. But considering Alligator Loki, I'm going to give it a favorable, a second chance, if you will. with a B, The Rock.
Mm.
The ordinances wasn't handled well, but it got the job done. I don't know what else to say. I hope they make. I hope season 2 is Alligator Loki and friends.
Well, I'm gonna have to diverge a little bit from your flight plan, Broadcaster Nickels, because this is the way I look at it. I think that I gave Falcon and the Winter Soldier a C rank. I think I gave it a Wicker Man. And it probably deserved a Ghost Rider, if I'm being honest. Like, going back, I might revision that to a Ghost Rider. I'm not sure. Then we have WandaVision, which I gave... What did I give? I gave it Con Air. Now, that is the scope in which I have to rate this, because this is clearly better than Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Falcon and the Winter Soldier is an abomination of television that will not be matched in modern cinema history. It is something that will be relegated and denigrated to hell by the arbiters of time. There is no good future for Falcon and the Winter Soldier. That is just an abortion of cosmic proportions.
Is this because of Anthony Mackie?
I actually like Anthony Mackie in a few shows. There's a few things I like him in, but not that.
Not Altered Carbon.
No, definitely not. So when I'm looking at here, I'm looking at WandaVision, and I'm looking at Loki, and I'm trying to say to myself, hey, what do I like more? And when I really dig deep down, I have to say I like WandaVision a little bit more. So I'm going to give this a rock. This is a strong rock, though. I'm going to say that Loki is the strongest rock I've given since we have adopted the official patented Nick Rage Kading Sit-In. We have a strong rock here. It is calcified. It has emulsified glands. It has diamond-encrusted veins. It's a strong rock. But
you might have to update it after Face Off 2 comes out.
Well,
just saying.
We might have to update everything after Face Off 2. You never know. You never know. With that, though, I'm going to say that we're going to close out, Broadcaster Nickels. Do you have any parting shots at Loki as we roll into the clouds that may or may not be a giant cloud monster that eats time and space?
Absolutely. Communism is bad, children.